Sup peeps, my name's Ian and I sell books on Vinted. You'll notice there's an absence there because it has finally happened. A whole day, 30 odd hours with zero sales on eBay. 2022, I started this reselling malarkey and I have never had a day without sales since round about November 2022. This is the end of February 2025 and it's finally happened. Zero sales, nothing, nada, zip for the whole of yesterday, which was the 27th of February. So, as far as I'm concerned, that is it for eBay. I'll be getting rid of my shop subscription and just running down the listings over the next month. As they're coming to an end, I'm just going to get them dumped off, get that down to zero, and then decide what to do with eBay moving forward because it's just not working. There's no point putting any effort in to make no money. You know, it's just the way it is. It's disappointing because eBay was good to me for a while, but it's just plummeted. I mean, last summer I made it to the shortlist top 6 for the business startup category for the eBay Awards, and it's just gone down and down and down since that point, which is really disappointing because that felt like it was finally getting somewhere. Certainly had a wee bump in sales from that as well, which was good. It pulled things up, but never expected that to continue. You know, that wasn't going to go on forever, but it's just declined and declined and declined since not long after that point, to the point zero sales. And I have been closing down my eBay listings, but I still have, I'm just going to check. Yeah, there we go. 4,500 items listed on eBay with a total potential sales value of £33,000. So although I have been, you know, bringing it all down, I've taken off like nearly half of, in fact, just a bit over half of my listing volume, which has taken it down by about £15,000 in overall value, just because I've been taking off the low-hanging fruit, as it were. But still, 33 grand's worth of stock sitting there, 4,500 items, and selling nothing. It's insane. By comparison, on Vinted, I have about £3,000 worth of items listed, about 1,600 items in total. So, you know, much less value-wise, because you're not paying your eBay fees and your postage on top of everything, so that doesn't have to come out of it. But even, you know, trebling that up to allow for eBay fees and postage, it would still be less than £10,000 worth on eBay. And so about a third of the value, a third of the stock, and the sales are, well, I mean, yesterday, infinitely greater. But, you know, even that aside, if it was been a normal eBay sales day of late, which would have resulted in, you know, £10 a profit, on Vinted I'm doing 60, 70, £80 a day. So it's just, it's horrible knowing that something that was once the great and mighty predator has just, you know, I used to pick off resellers everywhere, but it's eaten all the prey and there's nothing left. And yeah, I mean, I think eBay, it's a bit like Facebook, isn't it? It's old now. You know, I mean, what, 1995, I think it landed. So we're kind of 30 years into eBay and it's just old and tired. It wants to be Amazon, but it doesn't know how. It's not willing to commit to, I mean, Amazon make all their money from their web services. Let's be honest. The shopping side of it's a small part of their business now, profitability wise. But that's their brand. That's what keeps them out there. eBay doesn't have anything of that. It's purely relying on people going onto that site to buy stuff. And when you go on now there's nothing exciting about going and shopping on eBay. You're not going to find bargains the way you used to. I mean, out with the book side of things, you know, a lot of people are now savvy to what's going on. a lot of the stuff that you used to pick up that was second hand, that people were, even if resellers, people would have a few hundred things that were selling. Now there's a lot of the big sellers on that side now, and everything has detracted from it, and it's just not worth it at the moment. Maybe they'll fix things, maybe it'll sort itself out, but for now, like I say, I am running down eBay over the next 4 weeks. I have been running it down. I'm going to continue to run it down to pretty much zero over the next 4 weeks and get everything shifted over onto Vinted, which kind of excites me, because just now I've got 4 or 5 shelving racks with vintage stock on it. 4 or 5. But I've got another, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, probably about 25 shelving racks worth of stock that is not yet listed on Vinted, and is stuff that's already been taken down from eBay because it was just costing me another 6p, another 6p, another 6p, and the stuff that is still listed on eBay that needs to come over. So I'm just going to be battering in and list and see at what point sales stop increasing, for the volume in the shop, and then that is what I will maintain as a vintage stock. So if I sell 50 books, I'll list 50 books when I get to that point, type of thing. So yeah, it's a sad old day. But on the bright side, this morning, whilst I was away picking my vintage stock, I got an eBay sale. That's only 5 books for like $12.99. So meh. Katie Flynn, 5 Katie Flynn paperbacks, so a couple of quid made there, but it still means that for yesterday, because I pay my postage costs for the previous day, the day after, you know what I mean, I made a £10 loss yesterday on eBay, which is just not acceptable at all. And in fact, no, I made a £15 loss on eBay yesterday, which is now a £5 loss because the Katie Flynn books have come in, but that'll go back up to about a tenner once I've paid my postage. You know what I mean. Anyway, eBay is dead. Coffee. But Vinted is alive and kicking. Not a massive day in Vinted yesterday, so it's been across more than one platform, as I'm sure many of you have experienced. Things are down, over the last month or so when I've been doing Vinted, when things have been down in one platform, they've been a bit lower on the other one as well. So there's definitely other trends out there that impact these things, and that makes it a wee bit interesting being able to see it. But still, I had plenty of sales on Vinted. There's nothing to complain about there. And the first one, well, actually the last one, but the first one I'm going to show you, was Isolation, the horror anthology, edited by Dan Coxon. £2.30. One down. Then we had a bundle of 4. Now, one of these came with a message, so I want to make sure I find that message. £6.72 for these 4. We've got Cormac McCarthy, No Country for Old Men, brilliant book. Cormac McCarthy, The Road, brilliant book, but I will never, ever read it again, and I will never watch the film. It scarred me for life, but amazing book. Then we've got Jason Matthews, Red Sparrow, which I think got turned into a movie. Is that Kate Blanchett? Was it? Well, no, it's Jennifer Lawrence. Kate Blanchett, Jennifer Lawrence. That's how bad my eyesight is. And The Pacific by Hugh Ambrose. So 4 kind of movie TV books there for £6.72. Another bundle of 4. Here's the one with the message. So for £7.75 we've got Sally Magnuson, Music in the Dark. Olivia Atwater, Long Shadows. Oddity. It's Oddity, isn't it? Yeah, by Ellie Brown. I like the look of that book, it's very nice. And Vladimir, second time sold this particular type book, by Julia May Jonas. So that was the 4 of them, and they are heading out to Lizzie Book Nook. So thank you very much for the message Lizzie. I'm glad these videos have been a source of inspiration. Yeah, much needed dry humour on the slow days. Well, the slow days, but there's not much humour in it from eBay at the moment. So yeah, thank you very much for your order, for your support, and everything else, and I hope you enjoy them thoroughly. Next, we've got a bundle of 3 for £4.13. And it's an Ottoline, and Amelia Fang. There we go. So all 3 of those books are ones that I've had listed on eBay either as bundles or individual books, again for what feels like an eternity. They've done nothing. They've been up for some of them a few days, one of them a couple of weeks. And that's them, sold on Vinted and made me a bit of money. So yes, get in there, £4.13. A bundle of 6 next for £8.25. One of us is lying. It wasn't me, because that is what they sold for, and that's how many books. Apples Never Fall, and Moriarty. Some Osmondo, Thursday Murder Club. And then I think it's 3 Lisa Jewell. Family Upstairs. The Third Wife. And I Found You. So that was, what did I say, £8, something like that. Yeah, £8.25. And then another bundle of 4, this time for a tenner. So we've got Margaret Atwood's The Testaments. And then 3, I think they're all Japanese thrillers. Natsuo Karino, Real World. Natsuo Karino, Grotesque. And A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Wozeki. So the 4 of them for a tenner. I'd priced up the 3 Japanese books a little bit because they seemed to sell quite well at a reasonable price. And right enough, they went all right. So that was good. 2 books for £3.88 next. And the first one is R.A. Salvatore, Episode 2, Star Wars, Attack of the Clones. It's a large paperback of that one. And again, both of these books been on eBay for donkeys, done nothing. Isabel Allende, The Novel of Zorro. There we go, another large paperback. So, I mean, they were listed on eBay for like £4.25 each, something like that, which meant I would be making 50p to a pound, just depending on, you know, what they sold listings wise, promotion wise. And instead, I've got £3.88 on Vinted, and I don't think either of them have been listed. Even the full time I have been on Vinted, which is only getting into 6 weeks. So yeah, it's great. It's great. It's such a relief to have a place where things are actually selling. Next, we've got another book on its own, another one that has been on eBay and done nothing. £3.48 for The Longest Day by Cornelius Ryan, a proper old vintage edition of that. For £1.38, so a little sale, but my God, they all add up. Wimpy Kid, which one was that? The Ugly Truth. So yeah, £1.38 on that. And finally, the last sale of the day is Terry Pratchett's I Shall Wear Midnight for £1.50. So, something I've noticed, you guys will see it too, Vinted come through and say, get your next item with free shipping. So you can have it delivered to your local whatever store and not pay any shipping on the next thing that you buy, which is fantastic. And some of these orders go through and there's none of that additional. So the Terry Pratchett book was priced at £1.50. It sold for £1.50 and I'm getting £1.50. The Cornelius Ryan book, or the Wimpy Kid book, was sold for £1, but I'm getting £1.38 because that wasn't a free shipping. So the Pratchett book must be one of those that has gone somebody using that free shipping deal. So there's no, I think somebody mentioned it was to do with the VAT stuff, coming back on that one. So yeah, that's it. That is all the sales for the day. Vinted, not a massive day volume wise, but actually quite good money wise. I'm not looking so much now at how much does sell every day as to how much funds become available every day. But what have we got? Now, there was another book that sold yesterday, but I happen to have here, so I'm including that in yesterday's sales total. 23, 26, 29, 39, 47, 51, 60, 65, about somewhere between 65 and 70 quid's worth of sales in Vinted. So it's not like crazy amazing, but compared to zero on eBay, it is phenomenal. And we'll just keep getting stuff listed and seeing where it all goes. So that is us for the day. It is the end of February. I want to do a wee bit of a kind of monthly recap just to see how Vinted has gone across the whole month compared to eBay. I think eBay sales value is probably still going to be ahead of Vinted, but obviously the Vinted sales value is essentially the profit. So there's a big difference there, but I'll need to see if I can do a wee bit of analysis on that once I've done my end of quarter bookkeeping, because this is the end of the quarter for my financial year. So I need to get lots of stuff tied up on that tomorrow. Well, actually I don't, because I do it throughout the piece, but I just like to go through and double check everything before I sign off on that quarter's numbers. And yeah, hopefully we'll keep making some money, pay some bills, and keep on trucking, folks. You know the score. Anyway, thanks very much. It's a short one today. I shall see you tomorrow.